Hello everyone, myself Tejas Pancha. Today we are going to have some basic idea about how we are going to code in embedded C language, and for that we are going to take some examples like blinking LED, gradual blinking in LED, and then how we can serially communicate with our developing board and our operating system like desktop or anything. Yeah. So first let's have example of LED blinking. Here you can see we have mentioned a pin number 2, which is of ESP32. Like for ESP32 we mentioned this pin number, which is LED built-in pin number. If you have known about ESP32, there is a blue LED in it. Yeah. So if we want to segregate this, like there are two parts mainly: void setup and void loop. So what we do in void setup, we show inputs and outputs in it. So here I have mentioned built-in LED, like I have mentioned here the variable built-in LED pin number 2, that is our blue color LED, and for that we are going to give output to it. Yeah. Then this is our output, and if we want to like take some input from sensors or anything else, like I want to use buzzer, so I can mention the ESP pin here for buzzer, and then that variable should be mentioned here, like buzzer pin or anything, and output should be given to it. Yeah. So this is our setup. Setup is ready. Okay, fine. Now I want to give it action, like taking a basic example in day-to-day life. If I want to roll my hand, like if I want to show these kind of gestures, but I want to mention them fastly. So like these variation we can mention here. So here I mention blinking of the LED. As you can see, digital write is used. Digital write is basically used for the digital readings. If you have known about digital readings, that is 1 and 0, high and low. So digital write built in. It's a case sensitive thing. Okay, you can't like change this thing. Like you can't write W as a small. Okay, so that's called as a case sensitive thing. Okay, yeah. So I mentioned digital write built-in LED, that is our output, and I am giving a output high. Then I am giving a delay of 1 second. 1 second means 1000 milliseconds. Here the C language reads it as a 1000 milliseconds. Yeah. So 1000 milliseconds, that means 1 second. Yeah. So next I want to give a low output to my LED, built-in LED. So I am giving a low, and then I am giving a delay of 1000. So that's the thing that I mentioned earlier. If you want to change like the actions, you can change it, like you can make some variations, like changing your delay or changing your output. Yeah. So let's have a next code. Yes. So if you can see here, okay. So now I mentioned the blinking of the LED. Now let's see the gradual blinking of the LED. Here the only difference is while loop. So we are mentioning the while loop, that is while what is the syntax of while? So while syntax is something like this. We mention a variable, that is I is equal to 0. Then in while we mention a condition, and then we mention the action. That's the only thing about while. So I have given a range 0 to 200 and given an increment to the variable. So and that I is assigned to delay. So basically if I am showing, let's take an example, basic example. If I am like my hands are gradually changing the speed. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. We are changing the value of delay. So I'm giving it an increment of 5. So that's about a while, like it will gradually blink. So first it will blink fast and then slow. Okay. So let's talk about the for loop. So for loop is doing the same thing as while loop, but what we are gonna do here, integer I is equal to 0 is mentioned, but there is no need to mention it as we are already showing it here, 0 to 2000. Like we are mentioning the range. That's the main thing about while loop and for loop. We can mention the range and and we are giving increment of 100. So even if you are using while or for, the pattern is different, but action is same. So yeah, next. So let's talk about the serial communication, like how we are going to serially communicate with our board. So for that, it is very simple. Let's not talk about the data, like what we have mentioned, the variable. Let's not talk about the variable. Let's directly come to this. So let's talk about the serial begin. Serial dot begin. So what is it exactly? Serial dot begin is a function which is used to like communicate with our ESP32. Like from my PC, if I'm sending some signals to my LED, like I want to turn on the LED high, turn off the LED low. Okay, so those information like 1010, those information I want to print it in serial monitor. There is an option called as serial monitor, so you can print it on the serial monitor, or else there is serial plotter as well. Yeah, so here we have mentioned the integer pin 13, that is our touch sensor. So as the touch sensor is touched, we are going to open the serial plotter. That's all about the serial communication, and I think I have covered all the things.